Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King, and today I'm going to be participating in the Yellow Cover Challenge. Now, this is something that's been going around the YouTubes. I saw it on Metarog's channel, where people are being challenged to show off their favorite yellow comic book covers. Now, I have to say, I haven't actually been tagged in this. Nobody tagged me in this one, but I watched Metarog's video. I watched several other people's videos because I love yellow covers. I like black covers like everyone does. I have a thing for white covers, but actually yellow covers are my favorite covers. I love yellow covers. So I had to participate in the Yellow Cover Challenge. Some of the videos I watched, they were like, pick your top 10. I decided to restrict mine just to romance covers. So everything I'm going to be showing is my top yellow romance covers in my collection. I have to say there's a couple I couldn't actually find, so I'm not sure what I did with them, but they're around somewhere. It doesn't really matter. What's important is I have a huge pile. I couldn't keep it to 10. I pulled out all the yellow covers that struck me, and then when I was done, I was like, well, I already took them out of the boxes. I might as well show all of them. So we're going to show all yellow, all romance. You can't beat yellow romance covers, and I have put them in a bit of an order, a rough order, so we're going to end strong at the end. So let's jump into it. Let's start with My Romantic Adventures, and it's weird. This actually does not have the issue number on the cover. Unusual for ACG. Most of them have the issue number. Here we are, My Romantic Adventures. We get a classic romance scenario where, the woman walks in, her boyfriend's kissing someone else. Oh no. I should have known he couldn't really love a little fool like me. Do you have to be smart to win out in romance? See the answer in The Brainless Type. Oh man. It's too bad she's so dumb. Alright. Young Romance number 133. This is, I think, a John Romita DC classic. It's part of the Bonnie Taylor Stewardess series, and this time she's in Venice. Check it out. Got the bridge. I love this sort of sketchiness of the background, the yellows, the guy here in the foreground. It's interesting, there's sort of like, I know this isn't really yellow per se, it's yellowish. I should say that I am colorblind, but yellow is a cover I can usually see. This I'm not quite sure, but there's basically multiple shades of yellow going on here. We get the yellow banner. They're really doing complementary colors here. You can't ever go wrong with John Romita on a romance cover, particularly the Bonnie Taylor ones. Young Love number 93. I have a pretty nice copy of this. I actually had multiple copies of this that were all in the 6 to 7.5 range. This is the one I decided to end up keeping. Just really well done. Not signed. I think it might be J. Scott Pike, though. There's a certain... I might do a video on J. Scott Pike. I've noticed that like my video on Matt Baker is one of my most viewed videos. I thought I might do one on J. Scott Pike. His art style changed noticeably over the years in romance, and I'll do a whole video about it. I'm not sure people realize how much romance he did for Atlas before he went to DC. But busy cover, but I love it. I do love the covers with the redheads, and I love yellow. I love the 25-cent era, so this has got a lot of stuff going for it, not to mention just the cool artwork. Coming in from Charlton, it's Romantic Story 122, bright yellow cover, and these people are having a swinging party where this guy is basically just assaulting this woman, and everyone else is watching and laughing. I mean, she's clearly trying to get away from this guy. She's actually elbowing him right in the Adam's apple. And look at the people in the background. They're just like, yeah, dig it. They're literally looking right at them, and they think it's so groovy. What a weird cover, right? The blurb says, "I was so sure he loved me. But if he did, why would he try to put me out of his life and say, 'Stay away, my love'?" That blurb has nothing to do with what is being portrayed on the cover. Also, there's a couple things that they threw in. They made sure that the bottle here says soda pop so they wouldn't get in trouble with the Comics Code Authority. These people are not drinking soda pop. But also, there's an album on it, and it's called Sweet Daddy Rock. Charlton has covers that push the boundaries a lot more than the ones from the other companies. But here's just a really cool yellow cover from Charlton. Again, this is a rare instance of me having a high grade Charlton, but it is Secret Romance 33 with this great sunset here. They're on a veranda. I wanted to say they're on a cruise ship, but I don't think they are. There's a ship going by in the background, but I think they're on some kind of veranda having their soda pop cocktails with the beautiful sunset behind it. When I started really focusing on romance, I went through all of the Charlton covers for the Bronze Age, and I made a list of all the ones that I wanted, and I have almost all of them now, but this was one of the top ones that I wanted to get because I just love the design. Marvel, My Love 28. Now, this is a reprint. The last 10 to 15 issues of both My Love and Our Love are reprinting earlier stories from those two titles. But often I like the reprints better because they're frame covers, and I love frame covers. And here is a gorgeous bright yellow frame cover. I love yellow frame covers. Great art here. I think this is a Buscema. I think I'm second guessing myself quite a bit on that. I don't know. My brain's just not working in terms of identifying obvious artists, but I love the yellow cover on this. There's one that I thought I had to show you that has a great Alan Weiss cover, but I do have the original that's white. I think the reprint might be yellow, but for some reason I couldn't find it. But this actually has a subscription crease, which is a little strange. Maybe it's not a subscription crease, but it's pretty close. Otherwise, it's beautiful. But the art's fantastic, and again, just that gorgeous bright yellow frame is so great. Here's an older Charlton. A really nice presenting copy of Sweetheart Diary 45. So this is a 10-cent Charlton that's in nice condition. So that's a shocker. But it's also got this great yellow cover here, which is actually a swipe. It's swiping Matt Baker. So trying to remember what is swiped. It was from Teenage Romances. Very similar cover. The background's a little different here. The background has the little drawings in squares, and I'm pretty sure on the Baker one they're in diamonds. But it's clearly a swipe of that. But we got the yellow frame up here, and which goes with the blonde hair, and just a great Baker swipe. Not sure who it's by. Had to guess. I would guess Coletta because the two work together. His style is very similar to Baker's at this time anyway. But I'm not entirely sure. But just a really great cover. We're going to go back to ACG for Lovelorn number 34. Now, this copy is pretty rough. It's actually got a tear through the spine, which is never good. But it's one of these shocking pre-code covers. This guy is aggressively interrogating his lover, saying, "What do you care what happens to him? If you can save me, don't we love each other?" And she's clearly afraid of him, as she should be, because as you can see, he's packing heat. He is packing heat. So she's got the hand up like she's about to punch him right in the throat. He's got his gun being flashed here, and she realizes that she's not in one of the fun romance comics. So again, kind of a boundary pushing pre-code with a gorgeous yellow background. Here's one. This comic has been in quarantine for a while because I bought it at this comic store. You may remember this video probably a year and a half ago now, maybe longer. I stopped at this comic store I'd never been to before, and they had all this awesome stuff, and it all absolutely reeked the worst musty smell of any comics I've gotten. All of them did. The guy had bought them all of these like books from the 50s from the same person, and they all had this horrible stench. And so a lot of those I've had with like different tried all sorts of different techniques, and none of them really have worked to get rid of the smell. So I have them sealed up in like triple bagged inside a bag together to contain it. So the point of that is I haven't seen this too much since I bought it because I've only pulled it out of the bag a couple times, but I bought it because the cover is so great. This is from Prize Comics, Young Loved, before it went to DC, before whatever. It's from the original run, number 66, and it's a great, great yellow cover from Mort Meskin. Check this out. This cute young girl is just kicking her shoes up and relaxing on her hammock, and she's daydreaming about the handsome prince coming to make her a princess. What a great cover, huh? I mean, great cover. Some of the comics that I got that day that are smelly, I'm probably going to end up getting rid of. I got 2 or 3 nice, structurally nice DC books that day, DC romance from the 50s. They have cool covers. I'm probably going to have to get rid of them. Everything just smells so bad. There's a couple Archies and a couple romance that I'm going to keep despite the smell, just because they're so cool, and this is one of them. Just a great, great yellow romance cover. John Romita here, but now he's at Marvel. Classic Our Love Story #1, which is essentially a cover with Mary Jane and Peter Parker. He just gave Mary Jane brown hair instead of red hair, but it's the same models. Our Love Story #1. No, no, no. We dare not marry. I don't think anyone talked like that. Even in 1969, I don't think the sentence structure is just probably not what your average, 20-something woman, as she's breaking up with the love of her life, she probably doesn't say, "We dare not marry." But whatever. Great cover from John Romita. Here's a classic. Metarog, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I know this is the only Skywald that you're missing, but it's Tender Love Stories #3, which not only has a great yellow cover, but it's got a great women's lib cover. So it's got a couple things going on. It's really hard to find romance to begin with, but all the people that collect feminist covers and women's lib covers will get this as well. So it's got sort of a crossover appeal. And as a result, it's pretty hard to find. It's the hardest of the 4 issues for me to get as well. But it's a great cover. I'm trying to remember who it's by. I can't remember if it's Schaffenberger. I don't remember. But it's a really great cover. Again, some nice, beautiful yellows. I love the logo, but I really love the Skywald lamppost design. That's really cool. I should bring that back with the comics that I publish myself, because it's just such a cool. It's like, it just looks cool, It's just, since I do my comics like on Kickstarter and stuff, there's actually no purpose for this because it's not on like a newsstand or something. But anyway, great cover. And we're down to all great comics here because again, one of my rare high grade Charltons. It is Haunted Love #6, which just the art is absolutely amazing on this. Tom Sutton, I think. But it's just the detailing is just beautiful. It looks great close up. It looks great from a distance. It's just fantastic. Great cover. Here's a rarity I've shown before. One of the highlights of my collection. Everybody's aware of a couple of the big Bronze Age romance books. Is Love 1970 and Love 1971 from DC. But very few people are familiar with Love 1977, which isn't from DC. It's actually from an Australian publishing company that's reprinting romance books from multiple publishers in this 96-page giant, but the cover is from a Charlton romance. Now, I have the regular Charlton one, the regular issue. It's not quite as yellowy. Like this isn't like a super bright yellow, but the other one is actually less bright. They've turned up the thing here, but I've said this before, but when I saw this come across my feed, I just was like gobsmacked because I had no idea that there was any more love issues. So that 1977, I don't know. So hard to get, not particularly valuable, but like absolutely had to have it, and great cover. Actually like this version better. I don't know if it's just because I like the logo better or if because I like the background being brighter. I don't know, but love 1977. Girls Love Stories 178. This series ended with issue 180, so we're right at the end. 20 cent double bullet era, although with the romance comics, one of them is a heart. But anyway, all of that being said, it is J. Scott Pike with this great biker cover. A lot of things going on here. The guy's riding his motorcycle along the beach, and he's scooped her right off of her feet. Nobody draws women like J. Scott Pike. Again, I may probably at some point soon we'll do a J. Scott Pike video. This is late for him at DC because DC was about to cancel most of their romance comics. But he did several really great covers right at the end of this run with Girls Love Stories. And this is a favorite of mine. It's interesting. The biker, he's wearing a tank top, has the number 7 on it, but their biker gang's logo is a blindfolded skull, which is interesting. It's an interesting design choice. I think that's kind of cool. Just a couple left here, but they're all bangers. Starting with Young Romance number 85. Cover date December 1956. This is during a brief period where Jack Kirby went back to work with Joe Simon on his prize romance comics for a year or so. And it's got this great cover where this guy's at a diner and he's kissing the waitress, and she's so focused on the kiss that she's just pouring the coffee out. Meanwhile, there's this old guy who is just mainlining this bagel as he watches. It's great. It's Kirby. It's got a really fun romantic cover. It's got the humor element with this weird guy in the background, just not having any of it. So great cover there. Speaking of feminist covers, although this borderline, but it's Young Love number 106. Quick guesses as to who the artist is. If anyone gets this, I mean, I'm sure some of you know, but if anyone guesses this, I'll be shocked. Okay, it's Craig Flessel. Yes, it's Craig Flessel, who's known for his great illustration covers at the dawn of DC in the 1930s. But here he is in the early 70s doing covers for Joe Simon, who is the editor at this time. And it's, first of all, we got this funny box up here that says, my romance was ruined by Frizz. But the girl working on the car says, sure, boys like you are hard to get, Mike, but so are after-school jobs. I love you, but I'm going to compete with you, even if I have to look like a sex object. And then it says, give me lib or give me love. I was a girl in hot pants, driven to steal a boy's job. A boy I loved. I was the daughter of women's lib. I love everything about this, including the cringes that it causes me. Because, what? What? And now, Young Love 68, J. Scott Pike, one of my top 2 or 3 favorite romance covers of all time. The first appearance of Lisa St. Clair, The Life and Loves of Lisa St. Clair. Drink it in, J. Scott Pike at the height of his powers. Absolute all-time favorite of mine here. My copy is really nice, but it does have a pop top staple. If it didn't have that, it would probably be, well, it'd probably be a 7, but it looks beautiful. There was a period a long time ago now, 12 years ago, where someone was sold a CGC 9.6 on eBay, and it was going for $125. I didn't have that at that time, but also I already owned this copy, which is nice. So I couldn't really justify it, but you know, now I wish I had bought it because it's just one of the greats. And then finally, we're doing romance covers and we're doing yellow covers. So those of you who are familiar with my channel know that this has to be here. We're going to end things with Where They Began. Young Romance #1, the first ever romance comic, Simon and Kirby. Let's see if I can get a good look at this without all the glare. Pretty difficult. Let me just turn that. So, yeah, CGC 2.0. All started here. Young Romance #1. Starting off the whole genre with a yellow cover. So there it is, a bunch of yellow romance covers, some of my favorite yellow romance covers. Let me know what you think down below. Which of those was your favorite? What do you think about yellow romance covers? I'm not going to tag anyone in the challenge because I wasn't tagged, so I'm just doing it for fun. But thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.